welcome to this group. I really want to share with you why we made this group and what is it all about, okay? So firstly, we want to support you to build a life of real wellness. It's very important these days. So, and to be healthy means a lot now. It doesn't just mean to do the normal thing and do a little bit of exercise. There is so much to it, and it's a very deep and meaningful subject. So, and there is a big problem that these days there's so many informations out there, and yeah, a lot of them are good informations, but a lot of them are not very good and confusing and mixing up. So in order to be really clear about what is it that is very meaningful in order to live a life of total wellness, we need to cut through it and get to the very important stuff, and that's what we want to help you to do here, okay? That's a very important part of what we do. So we will regularly update you and send and give you information and knowledge and practices that will help you to achieve that. Because we got to remember that what was good yesterday is not good today, yes? Because yesterday things were easier, and today things are more complex. So we need to know and distinguish and have this quality of discrimination of what is right, what is wrong, and particularly what is right for me personally, individually, because we are all quite different. We are in different places. That's very important. The mainstream, one of our biggest challenges at the moment is that the mainstream sort of approach and way of dealing with health is actually a recipe for disaster. And as sad as it is, it's the truth, and we've got to all understand that and embrace it and be willing to take that responsibility, that ownership for our own well-being. Because if we leave it to the doctors, if we leave it to the experts, we're just going to go downwards, because there is no way that we can live a life of wellness while we're doing the mainstream, the normal, the conventional. There's just no way. It's naturally going to take us downwards. So we've got to become empowered, take that power, learn how to master our life, and put in place practices and mindsets and ideas and knowledge that will lead us to live a really, really good life. If we leave it to them, it's not going to happen. So that's a very important reason that we want to do this group, to share with you how you can empower yourself and become the person and have the life that you can have, that you want to have, that you are meant to have. Yeah, so that's our mission. Furthermore, it's important to have a picture, your whole picture about your life, our life, each one of us, okay, and to learn to connect the dots. So our life is made of many different aspects. If we are not able to see them all and connect them and to have that bigger picture of our life, then it will always be separate parts that don't connect, don't integrate, and we remain in a very limited perception of ourselves and the world and life. But being able to have that connection and seeing the big picture and having that positive outlook on the big picture is a very powerful thing that we want to help you, support you to do, to achieve that. And it's an ongoing, because as we go in life, we see more dots, and they need to be connected. They need to turn into one big picture. So it's an ongoing process, and when we do it, when we have that ongoing flexibility and ongoing adjustments of what is the big picture of my life, what are all the big dots, how do I fit in the macro picture, in the greatest in the whole world, then only then we can really place ourselves in a position where our life is really fulfilled and is really what we call total wellness, okay? And to hack that, to be able to get into it, is the skill we want to help you to achieve. So what it means to constantly have a bigger view of what is the world, what is life, what is myself, expanding the sense of myself, my perception about who am I, what am I here for. always expanding and refining it and making it more profound, more clear, more powerful is their way to grow ourselves into this total wellness. Okay, and we have to hack through all the challenges that come on the way and learn that, use those challenges, not just push them away, but actually look at them and learn how to turn them into something that empowers us, that makes us grow, that makes us more compassionate, more loving, more accepting, more peaceful, more healthy. Even if we have a challenge with health and sickness, we actually can take it and learn from that how to become more healthy, how to become more balanced. This is another very important aspect that we want to share with you here on this group. And so all of that, all of these points I mentioned together come to become this sort of array of secrets that help us to reach success in life. Ultimately, that's what we all want. We want to have a success. And what does it mean, success? That's a very important question. We're going to go into it. We're going to explore this question and help you redefine what is really success for you, because what is success for one person is a failure for another person, and vice versa. So it's very important to have a clear idea of what is success for you. And yes, part of it is financial and money and assets and whatever, but there is much more to it as well. So it's important to really have a good idea of what is success. And we're going to talk about that a fair bit, and we're going to go into details and help you redefine, rediscover what is success for you, and how are you manifesting and expressing that success in your life. Because this issue is not, it's a very contemporary hot issue. You see it in many books and many talks everywhere. At the same time, it's a very ancient issue. It's been talked about in humanity for thousands of years. What is success and how do we achieve it? So there are secrets that we can get into, and that they are what's called classic or universal. They will go through the time and space, and certain things, when we implement in life, they will come together and make us live a successful life. So we're going to talk about that here. It is very exciting, because we are moving from a period, a dominant paradigm of a linear and material way of looking at life, to a dominant paradigm of multidimensionality. And we all have to do this sort of quantum leap to become from a two-dimensional or a linear way of living and being to a multidimensional. And there is a leap of consciousness to do there. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to share some aspects about it. We're going to talk about different practices that help to do this shift, to really become the creators of our life, and not just the objects that are suffering from the circumstances that we are in. Yeah, so we are so used to think about ourselves as objects within a world, but this multidimensional perspective is actually very different. We're coming from the biggest picture to create our own life, and it's very fascinating and inspiring and topic to work through. Because once we hack that one, we have infinite potentiality. We really have infinite potential. We can do whatever. And these days, it's like there is no excuses. We can do whatever we set ourselves to do. But we have to do that quantum leap into this multidimensionality from the linear, material, objective way of looking at life and ourselves. And lastly, I want this group and everyone part of it to be a place of exploration and connection, vulnerability and love. Ultimately, that's where we are moving to. That's the essence of this multidimensionality, and that's where we want to support you to move into.